Hello everyone, this is Biscuits and or Mighty Space Fruit. You can tell which one I am based on if someone has called me Firefish9 today. Today we're taking a look at another set from TCC Revisited, a tiny little community tournament here, mostly hosted or at least inspired by Ghost Rider 39. Take a look at the old TCC brackets here. See, this is from November 25th, 2024. I don't know if that's when it was created or that's when, or some other date, to be honest. I don't really know. But it was from about 2 years ago. We are here in the Mangonels bracket. Same bracket as our last set that we looked at. Third highest bracket. We have Auriko, the first player we're going to be looking at, or one of the players we will be watching today, managed a second place in his group. And very famously went on, got a 2-0 here, 3-0 against Chris, the one of the players from the other set we saw. And then the infamous case of Auriko beating Harry T in a 3-0 in the grand finals. Other side, our other player today is going to be Maxi, also known as MaxyMicChek, if you are an American that doesn't know how, non-American names are pronounced and you think it's because of McDonald's. But no, this is it's Maxime and then Czech. But he did not do so well. He was the 18th seed at the time, so not so bad for him. He did get into the lower bracket finals, did lose to another one of our players that we will see in a later set. And these two players are interesting, I'll say, for a number of reasons. Let's take a look at the drafts here. So we have on, actually make sure, hold on. My draft is, I didn't check this beforehand. It's a little bit small because it is a best of 5 this time around instead of a best of 3. Squish this down. So when we're taking a look at the drafts, we have the very first map played is going to be Spiral. On Maxi's side will be Fractal, and then Outcrop and Auriko picking Ring of Reeds, African Reed Beds. Now, if anyone has not seen Maxi's gameplay, he is, he's a bit of a lamer. Well, not just a bit of a lamer, that's kind of his whole thing. He sends a Vil forward with the Scout, instant loom, lames your Vils, or lames your Vils. Well, sometimes he does lame your Vils, he lames in your lumber camp, steals your hunt. And then after a very slow feudal age time, spams a bunch of archers, and then in Castle Age just goes into crossbow and skirms and just makes more archers. Sometimes he will TC drop as well, something he does from time to time. But as you can see in the bans, we have what are always banned by Maxi. It's Gauss Hindustanis because they have unique units that are good against ranged units. And then we have the Way, presumably because the Tiger Cav fit a similar role. I don't know what the Turks, Gajars, Romans bans are for. I mean, those are fine bans, I would say, based on these maps that I'm looking at. Other side, Auriko banning Spanish, Mongols, Wu, Malay, Koreans, and Italians. Maxi does also like to tower rush and or castle drop, especially with the Spanish, so reasonable ban. Mongols also reasonable ban against a lamer. I don't know about the Wu. I don't know if Maxi even has the Three Kingdom DLC, so to be honest, I think you can pretty safely not even worry about those civs at all when you're playing against him. Malay, I don't think I've ever seen him play him. Koreans make sense. Italians, I could see another archer civ. Auriko first picking Inca, probably for their skirms, I have to assume, because when you're playing against a player that only plays archers, skirms are a great option. Teutons, as a second pick, I have no idea what this is for. I gotta be honest. I mean, it could be a tower rush, but on which one of these maps are you tower rushing? Ring of Reeds? That seems pretty bad, but it could be an option. I don't know. Burmese, probably for a ram by I have to guess because their skirms are not very good. Japanese, solid. Man at Arms opening can be quite good on a number of these maps for hybrid, especially Fractal or even Spiral. Celts, okay, I mean, they have good siege. Maya being sniped is kind of funny. Sicilians, of course, are OP at everything, so I can see why they're picked. Other side, the first pick for Maxi is, of course, Vietnamese, the civ that he always plays, pretty much exclusively for the bonus that you can see your opponent's TC immediately right away, so you can be very fast with layman. Of course, they have Higher HP on their archers, so it makes sense. Saracens as well is nice for playing archers, and for someone who has low eco and poor macro, it's very good to use the market. Poles, I don't know what's going on there. Probably for Vil fighting and tower rush. I can see the Vil fighting on Ring of Reeds, but it seems pretty bad in theory if you ask me for poles, unless you're going for a dock, because I don't know how you're going to fit a full work in the middle to take advantage of all of the food, but who knows. Persians is probably for douching. I don't know which one of these maps is going to be the douching map. Could be Fractal. Fractal actually would kind of make sense if you think about it, right? You could douche the opponent's TC, you could kind of wall them in, and then they have nowhere to run. You might be able to get fish up too if you want. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see that. It could also just douche on outcrop. That could happen. Ethiopians, good archers. Berbers, don't know what Berbers are for. Maybe just Vil rushing. Byzantines, who knows? Maybe Maxi thinks they're good on water. I don't know. But let's go ahead and get into the games here. I'm going to pull up Capture Age. We are in to game number 1. We have here in the green Auriko with the Japanese, in the blue Ethiopians for Maxi. Now I spoke a little bit about Maxi's playstyle, which we're going to see here. And I don't know, I haven't seen a lot of Auriko's games recently, but historically my understanding is he's a very aggressive player, doesn't really like to add a lot of eco. He likes to play on water, likes to make a lot of units. Actually kind of similar to me. I guess I do add eco behind. Usually I'm not like super all in all the time, but I do like to make a lot of army a lot of the time. We're going for a pretty fast lumber camp, but we haven't, this is like crazy. We're not going to pick up a boar. I know, like, for our ideal hybrid build, we don't want to grab these boars yet, but we're playing against Maxi, and they've already found, he's already found our base. This is, okay, this could be trouble. We don't have loom, we have a low villager. Maxi might try and wall in our lumber camp, and, okay. Pull this Vil back. No, don't go fighting. No, it's okay. Okay. Yeah, gonna wall ourselves in, be annoying. It's not the worst thing in the world, but it's okay. Again, funny thing here, actually, there's some benefit to this actually in this case, because instead of taking our boars, Maxi has gone and he's doing all this. Now, I have thought about this before, and especially on a hybrid map, you might want to just take stragglers for a bit, because Maxi wants to do this, and you really don't engage with any of this. This is kind of like, it's kind of ruining your Dark Age. It's just being an annoying, just mess. It's not as bad for the Japanese, since this only costs 50 wood, so it could be worse. And let's take a look, by the way, what's going on back here. So, I haven't taken our boars yet. First one coming in, 2 on wood. Probably not going to be able to dock, by the looks of things. Looks okay for us. Gonna pull in the boar. Doesn't look that bad. We are going out to build a dock. We do have 5 on wood. It's not super efficient, and actually this is only 3 on wood. Yeah, okay. We're gonna need to add another one to wood somewhere. But we've gotten away without losing a Vil and without picking up loom. So that's very good for us, for Auriko here. Also, our boars weren't lamed either, which is actually kind of amazing in this situation. But as you can see, we're gonna have more resources collected, presumably, unless we accrue a bunch of idle time anyway. I'm gonna praise Auriko. So the thing about getting loom instantly is your eco is so weak at the start, right? So picking up loom is like skipping a villager when your eco is super fragile, and it's actually pretty bad. Eventually you're gonna have to start repairing this lumber camp. Auriko actually just missing these herdables, which does kind of suck for us. But again, we did get both of our boars, and we have Japanese fishing ships, so it's not a huge deal. I do hope we repair this, because if we don't repair this, this would be really brutal for us. 4 villagers coming forward. Okay, we did remember. Just to get a mill, okay. It's fine. It's like pretty inefficient, but it's not the worst thing in the world. At least they're taking hunt. We have 3 fishing ships. Maybe 4. If you don't go for a 4th one, it could be because you want to go for some aggression. You just want to get barracks up instead. But, in my opinion, I think you could get away with another one. Although, I guess there's not that much fish, so fair enough. I mean, they're also Japanese, so it is going to expire quickly. Or more quicker than usual, I should say. Anyways, barracks is coming up. Now, we know what Max is going to do pretty much every single time, so It's a little bit boring, but you can pretty much just open skirms every single game, and you'll be just fine, because he's not going to do anything else. I've seen him play scouts a few times, but it's only when it doesn't make any sense. Like, for example, on bypass when there's nothing to hit because he's not even going to get the relics. He's going to go range. Range for Auriko. Okay, we'll see. I mean, scouts can still be good. I actually quite like knights against Maxi in general, but we'll see. This scout does not have enough HP to fight this. I don't think that's worth it at all, because especially if we're going for scouts, we would like to have 3 much sooner so that we can actually kill something. These villagers going to go for a mill. I don't think I like this walling at all, to be honest. I mean, it's a little bit nice because it saves our villagers a little bit from range units, but they can still like land here, and then this is like huge space we gotta wall up. We're gonna take down Maxi's scout. A sort of forward range. We're not producing out of it at all. Okay, interesting. I'm just gonna speed up. There's a lot of games to cover, and I'm not gonna be too worried about covering them super detail. But yeah, we have up to 3 scouts. Imagine we could have had 4 scouts right now, which would be really nice for us. We're gonna come in. There are 2 spears. They are both in the barracks. Okay, so we don't even have a spear here. This is actually, that's okay. We can still fight back with the scouts. But yeah, ideally we'd have the spears kind of in a position where our vills are exposed, but that's alright for us. We are going to get the walls up at least, so at least if we full wall behind this, then I'm okay with this, but it's like, what is this doing for us? We still have to wall up this. This is like another situation where a lumber camp in the back might have been better for us for Auriko. We'll see. And how's this coming up? The scouts are not going to find anything. Ooh, they might find this walling veil, but I don't think you want to commit to that. Yeah, you don't want to lose your scouts to the spears. Now, this has delayed the archer rush for Maxi, so that is a bit of a bonus. Taking some unnecessary damage on the scouts there. Would rather just go around because you know this is blocked up. And I don't think you're going to get this villager. Oh, sorry. Never mind, you are. But you're going to lose a scout. I don't know if that's fully worth it, but it's probably okay. This is a decent position for Auriko because the archers still haven't come in and we have decent walling. It's not amazing. Archers can sit on this hill and be really annoying. They can still come in through here, and this is like all of our lumberjacks. But the fact that we're Japanese is nice. Scouts are going to come in. Cannot really fight this with fletching on these archers. Classic Maxi eco here going on. 0 farms. How many? 6 idle villagers. Okay. Second range is just not the move here at all. Our opponent already has a range of their own. We haven't spotted that yet, but you know, if you're Maxi, you have to assume it's going to happen because you only play archers and you are Ethiopians. But there's some opportunity for some damage, right? Because again, we have pretty forward lumber camps, a really exposed hill here. What is this? Single villager on stone. I mean, we could have done this. Like, why do we have a villager over there? That's actually probably the forward vill. But there's a little bit of damage we're finding. But luckily we have the second lumber camp. This should be pretty safe now if we finish this wall up. It's not a huge deal. The scouts find a decent fight for us. If we had a single spear with our army already, this would not have happened and we probably would have cleared this whole thing actually. But instead it's a decent trade for Auriko. I would say we clean things up. I think we've clicked up, right? Yeah, we have clicked up. So it'll be very nice for us. Maxi's food eco is just coming in now. It does have double bid X at least. No horse collar for either player. And I mean, so this is kind of like annoying, like an annoying spot. Pretty much denied these 3 or 4 farms, but we'll be up to Castle Age soon, and then we can go for whatever we have in mind. Probably Siege makes the most sense. You can go into Cav Archers long term if you want. That's a decent option, I would say. Could just build skirms and go for a more defensive play. I don't think it's usually Auriko's kind of MO, but when you're up against Maxi, maybe you might consider it. No upgrades on these skirms, so they're not really that threatening at all. That's actually, yeah, that's incredible. That's the Maxi gate from earlier, giving access to the archers, but the archers are just gonna die anyway because our spears are not nearby. And it's a little bit of damage, like it's a little bit of idle villager time, but I don't think it's really that worth it. We're up by, I wouldn't say we're up by like this full amount, we're up by about like 4 or 5 villagers because these fishing ships are going to be idle pretty soon. Double range, going to be CA, I have to assume. They are a decent option. For the Japanese, they have a bonus to archers. And the fact that Maxi is not going to be up to Castle Age anytime soon is good for us because he's not going to have crossbow. It's actually, he's really far behind. Does he have a... Okay, he's building the market now. Yeah, he's super late. Thanks to the fact that Auriko built farms earlier and we had a dog and the food eco for Maxi was this and then now it's this. This doesn't even protect us at all because our opponent is going range units, but okay. Fletching coming in. We'll need Bodkin before we really want to engage. Getting the first armor for Maxi, that's nice. Can't find too much damage at this point. Everything's pretty much walled up for Auriko. Yes, and here's the exciting part. So I saw there were a number of different lettered parts, so we'll be right back with part B. Alright, we're back, folks. We're into part B of this game. We have Maxi is going to get up to Castle Age. This is kind of one downside of going CA is it's pretty slow to mass them, right? We already have 12 archers. We can't really fight this, to be honest, with them having the hill. This is why I kind of would have preferred a Siege Workshop and then the CA, but this is still okay for us. We're going to start losing farms here. We don't have... I think we have Horse Color now, but I don't think we had it for a while. So this is decent for Maxi, I would say, because we're preventing the CA from being here, or here, or here, or they probably... Whoa, wait a moment. I was gonna say there's no way they come over here, but actually there's a sneaky mill for Auriko that I didn't spot. So somehow we actually have seen this. Maxi has not seen the mill. So a lot of forward buildings going on here. No second TC yet for Auriko. If we're not going to go for a second TC, I'd like to see a Siege Workshop somewhere. Either defensively or forward or something of the sort. Flowing a lot of wood from Maxi. Not a huge deal as you're on your way up. The ranges are forward, but it's okay. We're going to go for this one villager that has been mining stone for pretty much no reason because there's no tower. I guess we did sell some stone, so help recoup that if you wanted to add a town center in the future, but that's not usually part of Maxi's plans, except for accruing more idle TC time, I guess. Castle Age in for Maxi. We're going to get crossbow pretty soon, along with Bodkin. You might want to consider getting ballistics as well when you're up against CA. We're going to build a second TC. Auriko also building a second TC at the same time. Only 6 cav archers here in the front. We have more coming up. We'll need to add in some more farms as the old ones have expired. This is going to be 16 Ethiopian crossbows. I actually haven't really seen this matchup much at all. Obviously, like, if you give a single CA, they are better than a crossbow, but they are more expensive. Without ballistics, it's also going to be pretty tricky. We'll see how this matchup pairs up. Auriko's going to get ballistics in first. Looks like there are houses pretty much everywhere, so not much space for Auriko to get in here. Could be kind of annoying on these wood lines. Could potentially hit the forward gold. But there's a tower there. Actually getting the second armor in, which is good. Again, they still have bonus damage against the archers for the Japanese CA, so it's probably favorable for the CA for the most part, especially when you get into larger numbers. But again, I haven't really seen this matchup much. We're getting heavy plow. Must mean Auriko feels pretty comfortable with this position. Yeah, you can see that there's much more HP for Auriko. But the Ethiopian faster firing crossbows cannot be underestimated how dangerous they can be. Especially we're doing a bit of dodging here. The crossbows die pretty fast, but so do the CA. It's a pretty even fight, I would say. But what's not even is the eco here. Not a lot of farms. And as I say that, we're adding in a bunch more. Even though this third TC, which is securing some gold. That's actually a really big deal on this map. As you'll see, you don't have a lot of minerals in your starting base. You have a couple of stone tiles, a couple of gold tiles. It's going to be really important to expand both outside here on the edges, right? And then at some point, if the game goes long enough, you'll want to secure this center pile. Auriko's not on stone at all, so we can't consider adding a castle anywhere. Army actually looks like still Maxi probably took the hill and maybe had a bit of better micro, took some better engagements here. And we're not actually producing any CA right now for Auriko. This would be an amazing find for us if we're going to see this, but I don't think Auriko will. Instead, he's going to just sit here and shoot at the archery ranges to instill fear into the enemy crossbows. In the meantime, we're coming forward with these crossbows for Maxi. If there was a demo loaded up, maybe that could be something big, but don't think they're going to find much. They could maybe shoot at these lumberjacks, but there's a lot of secure wood eco now at this point. 4th TC coming up for Auriko. See, here's the demo coming in, but it's far too late. Maybe on their way back, they'll be able to make something happen. Again, CA coming forward, but there's not really much to hit at this point. Things have kind of stabilized. They get a single Vil pick up there, which is nice. Floating a lot of wood still. Seem to add in some more farms, but very nice position for Auriko. Should be able to get a much better castle, or sorry, Imperial Age timing, which will do wonders for us. We're getting the stone mining upgrade, but we're not on stone anywhere. Yeah, that's gold. That's gold. I guess we might be adding in stone miners in the near future. Siege Workshop, you could consider adding. You have ballistics, so you could add a couple scorpions if you'd like. This might be a hole here. I'm not sure. Oh, it is a hole, and there's no Siege Workshop to deal with this. CA are all forward. Haven't found any damage. Crossbow coming in. They can find some nice kills here, especially with ballistics, but it's not going to be that much. Although the eco mounts are kind of close. We're actually have a lot of idle time for Auriko. I don't know how his multitasking is, but it looks a little weak here, I would say. Maybe it's the fact that he's got 4 town centers, a bunch of them are on gold, which is not ideal for developing your eco. Again, the CA are coming in, and, you know, although I would say, like, the CA should be better once you mass them up, we still have way more crossbow. We are having a bit of a hill advantage here for Maxi, so that is something to look forward to. See how the micro is. The CA are kind of engaging poorly by themselves. There is more range for the crossbow. They do die really quickly, though. Thundering also coming in for Auriko. I'd say it's like an okay fight, but yeah, we're going to get cleared up here. No Siege Workshop for Maxi. We built a tower right next to our TC for some reason. I don't know why. Kind of a lot of inefficiency here, I gotta say. Adding in a 3rd range and then a tower. These towers are not doing anything for us, really. I would rather... I mean, if we're gonna do this, at least upgrade to guard tower. I know that Maxi loves his towers, so that would be nice. But you really want to work up to a castle instead, which is what Auriko is doing on his side. Again, not a lot of farms, actually. We kind of need more farms. I mean, we don't need a lot because we're on CA, right? But, you know, you just want that if you're going to be supporting 4 TCs and also getting up to Imp. As you can see, the eco count is still pretty even. Quite a bit of kills on the side of Maxi, so things are still somewhat even, I would say. And we are idling our TCs a lot. So I'm not sure if all these 4 TCs are paying off for us. I mean, it is good to, like, secure resources. You know, obviously this is a lot more defensible than if they were just on a mining camp like Maxi was, and that's why he had to add a tower. Town Watch coming in for Auriko. Now we're adding some more farms for Maxi. Crossbow again coming forward. They might be able to hit these stone miners, but I feel like you got to go somewhere else at this point. But Maxi has not added any outposts, so we really don't have that much vision on what's going on for our opponent. Demo, are we queuing up a second demo in the other dock, just in case? This is plenty of CA now, though, also with Thumb Ring. Thumbmarine coming in for Maxi, but it will not be in time for the fight, and yeah, we should be able to clear this up. This is kind of like a situation where, for me, personally, when I play against Maxi, I much prefer you just go Scorpions, because literally all he's going to be doing is microing his archer units. So if you have like 3, 4 Scorpions, especially with ballistics, you just kind of let them kill everything, and then you don't have to waste your time microing units against him. Because if you kind of look at like his eco, it's inefficient in quite a bit of phases. That being said, I mean, honestly, he's booming pretty nicely, I would say, all things considered, right? Still pretty even eco count. Res is ahead because Auriko's had a, you know, sort of a nicer boom. He's sort of a little bit more efficient. Sort of had more, or not to say more vills. Well, more vills for longer, right? Right now it's even, but he's had more vills beforehand. That being said, floating a lot of wood, kind of struggling with the macro here, and that has prevented us from getting a much better castle, or sorry, Imperial Age timing. And on the other side, Maxi is not spending any food on his units, and will probably go to Imp in the near future. Doesn't have a castle to do anything with just yet. Might have in the near future, but he could make something happen, to be honest. It's a nice castle, but at the same time, it doesn't cover any of the gold. So, yeah, we're going to just drop a mill. Bear's coming in. Okay, yeah, range. I was saying that seems a little odd, but yeah, we're going to go for more CA, which makes sense. Guard tower coming in. I think, did we research Imp? Yep, research Imp is coming in for both players, and it's going to be pretty even timing, but it looked to me like it should have been much, much better time for Auriko at first. But that's not the case. That being said, still pretty decent conditions for him. He'll need to expand out here to the sides, get more gold. This gold has been used up. We'll need this gold here, but again, nothing to cover them. You kind of need a castle here in the center. Something kind of awkward about, like, if you try to claim a castle here, right, is you imagine your opponent has a castle here, they trap it down, they have the hill advantage. Not great for you. But Sierra coming in. We have switched to skirms for Maxi, which will do nicely against the CA, but if Auriko decides he can go for... could go for light cav if he wants. Not really the ideal pick for Japanese since they're missing the last armor. Could also just go for a champion switch. That would also be really good because you could kill any pikes as well. But yeah, the castle coming forward. This should protect some gold miners-ish. And this is kind of a nice position. It's not on the hill, but it's alright. We're going to go for a light cav, which is okay for us. We are floating a lot of food, so I don't mind it as an option. We're going to expand to the side, which I like to see. This is kind of where Maxi's TCs are going to come to bite him quite a bit, because this is some nice, secure food, or sorry, farming eco, but don't have any gold, really. Need to expand here and here. Max coming forward, gonna drop his guard towers. Actually making 2 show tails, which as we know are really good against CA. Really high damage output. Really good against castles as well. Skirms coming out. And I really don't like the CA pick, or sorry, the light cav against the skirms, to be honest. I kind of would prefer you just like go Scorpions or something, honestly. But maybe Auriko has that in mind anyway, because we're going for a couple of forward siege workshops. And looks like it's going to be a fight for the center. Not building any trebs for Auriko. Kind of a bit of a mismatch in our resources here. A lot of food. I mean, I guess since we have so much food, makes sense to kind of go for like a... But imagine if instead we went for Japanese champions, we put them in rams, and we killed everything. That would be sick. But that's not going to happen, unfortunately. Instead, we're going to get Skirm War, which of course is Maxi's favorite unit. No relics for either player. We do have a monastery here, but I don't think we've made a single monk. We do have the hill, so we should be able to defend this nicely. Don't have a lot of stone in the bank. We're going to mine some more. I don't know. I guess this is just a cap frame rush on the side, but honestly, this is very random. I'm not really sure what Auriko has in mind with this. I guess you can rush the market down, but there's like no military to really follow up with. Light cap can also be good for raiding, which is a something that could be nice. There's not that much to really raid though, because we have most of Maxi's ecos set up back here. 2 trebs out. We've just been really slow on the trebs for Auriko. We have 1 out, but just kind of sitting there. Rams coming in. Are we going to get... Actually, they don't have siege ram. I was curious. Light cav will come in, and they will be to clean up the skirms. Yeah, they're missing the last armor, you can see. Hurts really like a lot against arrow fire. Gonna try and snipe the Trev. They do get one, just one. His guard tower is actually pretty nice on the sides to kind of clear things up. We can also go for bombard cannons, which is gonna happen. It's gonna be really good for sniping the Trevs. No Kataparuto in for Auriko, so the Trevs are not that exciting. I mean, I know that like we're a little bit low on gold, but I don't know why we didn't go for champions, to be honest. They're not like that gold heavy, right? We had a lot of food, and there's like a lot of gold on the map still to work with. And that would be perfect against champion. But gonna go for the ram push on the side with one capped ram. Other one is hiding in wait patiently. Some idle villas here. We can defend this for a while, but you actually could just send some rams for it, to be honest. There's not really much to kill these rams. I guess we lost our bombard cannon to the Trev. I don't know what happened. Castle actually goes down. It's a pretty big deal, but we don't really have anything to kill the light cav for Maxi. We'd like to make pikes or maybe some Arbalester. CA are in, and they're going to prevent this castle. So we are finding some nice damage with this random cap rush, ram rush. Okay, maybe, we don't need anything else against the light cav but skirms now that I'm looking at it. The last armor is really important for them, and we are making more light cav. So we're also missing the attack upgrades for them, so that does hurt us. But not a huge deal. This is a pretty bad position for Maxi. Don't have anything, like there's no army back here at all. The skirms are going to come in and they will clear up the CA. Nothing to deal with them at the moment. I would love to see Maxi go forward with like, well, I don't know. I guess you just have Trebs and skirms. You don't have the stone to add castle forward, which is what you would kind of like to do. We're going to delete the castle. I don't think we deleted that at all. Okay, we're going to kill the rams, but the rams honestly did pretty well. Light cav are completely useless against skirms. Floating a lot of res, but I still much prefer the expansion on Auriko's side. This part still unclaimed. Skirms are going to trap the CA, but the damage is pretty well done. I think Auriko's probably not that bothered. I mean, this is kind of annoying. We're like getting heavy CA, we're going to lose everything. That's not great, but it's not the worst thing in the world. But I mean, look how much res we're floating. Why not just go for champions? Like, our opponent only has skirms. Doesn't have any arbalests. Just 3 crossbow. Gonna go for a castle here. Nice position. This is kind of where the center is not like super critical to deal with until like the long term, right? You get plenty of gold on the sides for now. Would really like to see a few relics from someone, from either player. Trebs will now get sniped because there is nothing to protect them. Skirms are making their way back, but it will take them some time. Elite Showtail Warrior is going to be our choice. For what reason, I'm not sure. They're pretty terrible against range units. I mean, they're good against light cav, but we could go for pikes instead of spending our gold. Not really sure what the plan is with that, but hey, they might make some things happen. Nice castle here. The thing that Maxi could do with this position is get like a big push going and kill, like go down here, right? Push all of this. Since Auriko has a better presence on the rest of the map, but skirms, as good as they are not that good by themselves. Not that good by themselves. We could go skirm pike. It's a decent option for the Ethiopians. And like, they do kill the light cav quickly, but they also means that they are not shooting at the CA, which of course are much more dangerous. That being said, I feel like Auriko's really playing this on hard mode because he could just make champions. Like he could have made, he could still make champions. I know he's going for CA, but like you don't need that much CA at this point when our opponent is up to 50 skirms. Like they're just not that useful. You take like 20 and you know do some raiding here on the sides. Cataperuto coming in now, so these will be extra dangerous trebs. Very nice. Maybe my favorite civ to play actually in deathmatch because I love to play with Cataperuto trebs. Yeah, looks like the position is now collapsing for Maxi. The random cap ram rush was very good because Maxi had nothing to defend. Didn't have the castle up here. Wasn't really expecting it because who would? But also he's Ethiopian, so he could have had outposts around and then he would have seen it coming. Elite Shota rush is coming in. They're getting the second armor now and squires. They will shred all of this, which is, you know, that is good. They can kill the trebs too, unless we just ignore them. Okay, well, it's fine. Everything else here is going to get cleaned up. The demo coming in, and it dies to skirms. Okay, didn't really make it happen, but I appreciate the effort from Auriko. Stone walls coming in. You kind of need to finish the job there, but good effort. Very little vills on sorry, not stone, gold and stone. And this game to me kind of looks like it's pretty over. I'm not going to 2x speed just yet. We'll see if Max can make anything happen, but I really don't see it. We're getting raided here in the back. We're actually running out of our safe wood. Bunch of light cav running in. Skirms coming in. Showtails again can snipe the trebs pretty quickly, but these trebs can also pack up very quickly and just leave if they want to. And again, Auriko's playing so much res, why not just go for champions? we don't need it at this point anymore, I don't think, right? But it would just make our lives much easier. I do like this castle though, defending us. Defending this position so we can treb this down. You might even consider like walling around here to prevent the melee units from rushing in. And yeah, I'm just gonna... Oh! Here comes the copium. Scouts equals cheating from Maxi. And what's actually cheating is making your opponent not bring the spears forward so that your archers die to scouts. That's what the real cheating is. But that's a win. It goes to Auriko there. And, oh, it's actually going to be, this is a best of 3. Let me change that. Sorry, best of 5. Best of 5 there. So, game number 1 goes to Auriko. A bit of an odd opening. I mean, I don't mind the scouts, especially because we have a pretty long distance and we had the dock. But it could have been trouble if Maxi had spears with those archers that makes them a lot more threatening. Got some decent damage, I would say. I think they got like 1 Vil pick here, and it did secure us some nice walls so that Auriko could get up to Castle Age at a much better time, and then pretty much didn't lose the lead. There were some parts that looked like Maxi had a chance, but you know, didn't really have like a killer push. You know, that when you have the less mobile army, it was kind of an opportunity for Maxi to here after cleaning up this castle, could push forward and kill a lot of eco for Auriko, but he didn't have anything because he just had 50 skirms, which is not quite enough. That's game number 1. We'll go ahead and get into game number 2. Hello everyone, we're here into game number 2 of this best of 5 set. We have Maxi in the blue with the Byzantines in the green. Auriko is picking up the Teutons. Okay, so Auriko might be thinking of a Teuton tower rush or a Teuton TC drop. Neither of which makes any sense to me on this map. Pretty much at all. So this map, as you can see, you have a wall to start. It's just palisades, but it is walled. You have a bit of fish around the back. You have your boars in the back. The wood here is reeds. And reeds, as you can see, only 50 wood. So these lumber camps are not super efficient for that long. It does mean that you have to refresh your lumber camps a little bit more often, and also gives you access to some of these minerals in the long term. Max is going to bash this gate down, and Auriko's just going to let it happen. I don't think it's worth it to let him come in. I mean, I know he's not going to do that much, but like, Why let him do this? Why not just repair? I mean, it's not that expensive to repair a palisade gate. Anyway, not a huge deal. We don't really want to man fight this. Some situations you might think about bringing a mill forward to get a bunch of deer and fish. Could also mill the back, which is a little bit safer. Actually, also didn't pick up his sheep. These 2 sheep here because the scout is forward to waste his time with the villager. And these palisades are giving us very valuable vision on the gold. So I'm not sure what the game plan is other than like a TC drop with the Teutons. Like in the other case, Teutons are usually like a farming civ, right? They're good for booming. I don't know if Auriko has that in mind. It looks like a feudal age timing. If we wanted to trush, we would go up maybe a Ville faster. I guess maybe with the Teutons, you don't go up as fast. You think about it because you are spending more villagers in the rush. Okay, no, we're just going to idle our TC for a little bit for fun. So just to make Maxi feel seen. And yep, both players are going to mill the back. Haven't scouted that for Auriko, but Maxi has seen it. Hasn't seen that the villas are here in the center. I don't know what Maxi has planned here with the Byzantines, like at all. I mean, you can tower rush with the Byzantines. Why are we tower rushing though? This is a palisade map. Like, it seems like such a waste. I mean, I don't mind Ville fighting in the center for the res. Like, that makes sense to me. But if we're tower rushing, which I think we have to because we're on stone, what is the point? It's palisades. Surely man-at-arms and archers like is more worthwhile. Because like, what is the tower gonna hit? Like you come here, you get in here, and then what? You tower the TC, tower maybe the wood line. I feel like there's just not that much to hit with towers. But I mean, it does give you secure in the middle. So if you're worried about, you know, for example, you know, preventing a castle drop, that can be good. A lot of Ville fighting coming in. Market coming in for Auriko for some reason. Just like no working villagers. We're just sending in a bunch of villagers in the center to fight. And why would we do this against Maxi is my bigger question, because this is like, this is what Maxi loves to do. This is like, we're just giving him what he wants. And he's gonna get, it looks like he's getting a better deal. I really don't know how to read villager fights, but he's got 2 kills. So that is good. And look at the fact that he's up later. So it means he has more vills to work with right now. So the eco for Auriko is just absolute trash. We are heading in farms. We have a melting sheep here. It's a 3-to-1 ratio for the Ville fight, which is much better for Maxi. A lot of low HP villagers here. We're sending in more villagers to the center. I don't know why. This isn't Black Forest. For what purpose does this serve us? We're gonna get to feudal for Maxi, and we're gonna add a barracks on the outside for some reason. We are gonna tower here, but like, what are we towering? Why are we towering in response? We have more villagers. We could just rush this down. There's a lot of puzzling things going on with this game already, I gotta say. But we'll see. Maybe they know something that I don't. We're down 2 villagers, not insurmountable. Cheaper spear coming out for Maxi. I assume we want to drop a range because that's usually what we want to do. Blacksmith coming up for fletching, presumably for our towers that we don't have. We're going to go around the other side and tower rush. Okay. But it's intercepted. More villagers for Maxi again. We could also add in like a range if we want. Nice surround there on that villager actually. I like to imagine what like Maxi's room sounds like with the his computer's engine, or not engine, but just I don't know, CPU or motherboard, or how much the fans are whirring while this is going on. And gonna quick gate in our opponent's tower, which feels like quite the flex. And this is a Teuton tower, so we can garrison more vills, but only 1 extra vill here. And also, the vills can actually just, I don't know why we wouldn't just batter this down, to be honest. I figured that was the point of walling in the tower. I don't know what the point is if we're not going to rush it down. Fletching from Auriko. Wheelbarrow coming in for Maxi so that his villagers move faster, which is very nice in Vil fights. One bonus that Byzantines have, of course, is that their tower has more HP. So that is something. We are going to drop a second tower for some reason. We got 200. This is truly baffling gameplay, to be honest, for both. I really... This is deeply puzzling. Like, what are we fighting over here? What resources are these towers covering? I mean, there's this wood line, but it's not even that good. I mean, look how inefficient it already is. Better off just dropping a new wood line back here. Even just taking stragglers. Auriko's guy's eco. Second mill up here. Looks decently set up, but I don't think it's that good. Bringing in more villagers to Vil fight this tower. We have way more stone in the bank, so not a problem for repairs. Need to focus down these repairing villagers. This tower is being smashed down, but it is 7 villagers that are not working. So it's okay. But again, I mean, even if Maxi loses this position, what does that even do? Like, the only reason I can see that being useful is like a tower rush, or sorry, a castle drop later, or like a siege workshop. But that's so far off in the future, it's like just not worth anything. We're not even taking the res here in the center, which could be a justification. Gonna lose the tower fight because of course our opponent is Teutons and we didn't Vil rush this tower for some reason. Very interesting gameplay. Food count is pretty nice for Auriko now. Teutons of course have cheaper farms. These spears have done nothing this whole game, but they're gonna come forward to do some scouting. We'll want to wall this up for Maxi. Instead, we're going to drop another tower, which is okay, but we should probably wall it up as well. I mean, I guess if you let your opponent smash down the palisade and walk in, then the tower can be valuable, because then you can drop a tower here. Which is doing something. I mean, it is doing something, but we still have a safe gold. It's not, we don't have farms that it's like dealing with, right? So... You know, everything will come together for me if Auriko like kills this tower and then TC drops. That'll be when everything comes together. But I think he's gonna probably go to Castle Age instead. Unfortunately, no one on gold, but we have a market that we rushed down, so we can make that happen. So of course, as the Teutons, usually we have 9 villagers versus 5. We're not gonna win the tower rush for Maxi. Something we are winning out is, or could be winning out, is eco time, right? But instead we're spending a lot of time repairing and sitting idling in this tower, which is not shooting anything. So some good gameplay here. But Auriko looks like he's going to click up in the near future. Is housed. But I want to drop a house at some point. Has not dropped a house yet. Okay, he's gonna click up. There we go. Actually, somehow, Maxi's got a decent food amount here. Probably due to the fish, shortfish here. This will run out pretty quickly, but we could drop another mill, which can hit the hunt and the fish. No market, by the way, for Maxi, so we can't really do much to get up at a comparable time. And this is gonna be pretty brutal with the Castle Age timing, because not only can we add siege, but we can also upgrade these towers to be even more dangerous. Maxi's doing like a decent job here, right? To kind of keep himself in, but it's not doing much for us because we're kind of just like slowing down the inevitable. We're delaying our Castle Age time by quite a bit. We're gonna get fletching in now, which we haven't had for the longest time. You can see here how inefficient this lumber camp is already. So maybe about like 4 or 5 tiles out. And that is part A. We'll be back real soon with part B. Go back with the other portion of the game. And we're in Castle Age for Auriko. Get Bowsaw, get Bodkin. Siege Workshop here would have been nice to put it more forward, but I guess it's okay. I mean, there's this tower. Actually quite low on stone for Auriko, so we can't do much more defending. And we're not producing any out here, which is crazy to me. I'm actually gonna speed up a little bit here because I don't... Until Auriko decides to build something out of the Siege Workshop, it's going to be the same thing repeatedly. Again, like the tower fight's happening. We have Bodkin. We don't have a university for the tower upgrade. Mangonel coming out. You might consider just building a ram, to be honest. A little easier to clean this up, but I don't mind a Mangonel. You will want two, because if your opponent is garrisoning their towers, they can actually shoot down your Mangonel. But yeah, with a Mangonel, it's pretty bad for Maxi. We're going to try and rush it down. We'll need to repair this Mangonel, and we do. You're just fine. Wonder what the transition for Auriko is going to be. We could just add more siege and just siege rush or put it down. I see the monastery here, but it's not very forward, so we can't really attack. We also haven't produced anything out of it. We're going to go on stone. Could be for a castle drop. Second Mangonel coming in. Might consider clearing up this tower. So we don't have to worry about it anymore. Maxi on the back gold now. Now here's the famous range. And we're going forward for a castle drop. Wait a moment. This could be something. This could be something. I don't know. It's kind of unfortunate to have to drop it here because it doesn't actually hit that much. Like, you'd love to somehow get it over here, but I don't think it's going to happen. Monk comes over. Means that we will spot this castle. Okay, well, we are going to lose this for Maxi, which is bad for us because it's kind of like the only thing that's stopping Auriko from killing all of these units. But we will have a castle. Not very good against monks, cataphracts are. 3 Mangonels now. And we still have a scout, actually, which we could use to clear up the monks. But I think it could be out of scouting. I mean, this castle could complicate things for Auriko, but we need like a siege workshop behind it. And instead we're going to add a backup town center, which will be nice. But again, there's nothing to really stop these Mangonels coming forward. We could probably consider going for monks of our own. We're going to have no secure gold here at all. It's pretty brutal for us. We do see this gold, which I think is where the bills are going. Does make things like a little more awkward for Auriko, but at the same time, like, this castle's not doing anything right now. I mean, it's not even shooting down the walls so we can break in, right? It's kind of where the awkward part is. It just denies this stone, but we have the center now, so Auriko can take this pretty easily. I'm actually just gonna speed up a little bit because I don't see Maxi like doing anything right now. We're just gonna add another town center, which is not something we could afford with 0 on food. Cataphract coming out, but again, we're not through this wall at all. We're gonna lose the market, and I think the game's pretty much over already for Maxi. Auriko has a really nice eco setup. Can even just go to Imp soon if we want. We don't have a castle, but you know, you could drop it here if you want. Could drop it here, and then yeah, what is Max gonna do? He's gonna try and farm his way back into things, but actually, okay. This I like though. I mean, there's no monk here because Auriko was never expected there to be a cataphract here. So we do clear up the Mangonels, which is nice, but they already did a lot of damage. No forward siege for Maxi. And I don't really see much happening. 1 relic in for Auriko. Is gonna add some more. New market coming up now. I would really like Auriko to like target these walls with these towers. I think this is just so, or even with the ram, I think this is just so annoying that all units have to keep passing through that one part. Double bit X coming in. And yeah, here's gonna be the tower, or sorry, castle, defensive castle for Auriko, and we should get Imperial Age in the nearish future. And then there's pretty much nothing for Max to do. I know we have a cheaper Imperial Age, but we don't have the eco for it when we're trying to support 2 TCs on 10, with 10 villagers on food. Crossbow coming in, of course, because we have to go for crossbow. And we're gonna make some rams, which is like, you know, we could go for a ram push, but we can also just make Teutonic Knights for Auriko. Could also make some normal knights. Either of those work, and I think it's I think this game is pretty much over. We'll keep an eye on if Max can make something happen, but I don't see him really doing it at this point. Knights are really nice here because, again, Maxi spends a lot of time microing his archer units, so if you can just send in some knights that just kill everything, then it's a, you know, pretty good deal for us. Rams are going to come in. Single Teutonic Knight. I think it will be hit by the castle fire. We don't have murder holes, which would be really nice for us. Pop out the units on the wrong side, but the villas are going to start hitting the rams. This castle could go down, actually, now that I'm looking at it. It's pretty close. We're getting block printing for some reason. I don't know why, because our monks haven't even like done anything. Looks like we're going to be okay, actually. If there was like a little bit more support for these rams, maybe something happened. Crossbow actually do find some damage, which is good news for Maxi, but the knights are going to come in. They only have the first armor, so they're not really that threatening. Things are getting pretty messy for Auriko, and our eco is pretty low, but we have a lot of res in the bank, so we can still make something happen. It does seem to be that Auriko struggles quite a bit with the multitasking here. It's kind of my impression. But he's still in such a good position that I think this is totally fine. And yeah, we repair this up. We make some trebs. Please, please just queue up some trebs. Please, please queue up trebs. Please queue up trebs. Auriko, what are we looking at, man? Please queue up some trebs. I will be pretty fussed if we don't see a single trebuchet before our opponent reaches Imperial Age. What are we doing? Okay, there it is. Wow. We kind of blowing our Imperial lead by quite a bit, but our eco is still... Even only 60 villagers, still much better. Single monk for Maxi will convert the knight, but it's not quite enough. We're missing Cavalier upgrade, but we can research it soon as 300. Maxi's last stand. And even though it looked kind of touch and go, Auriko tried to make it look like there was something happening, but I think the game is very much over at this point. Conscription Cavalier coming in. Could even add some more stables. We'll want some more on wood. But yeah, the castle's down. We have this castle, which will give Maxi something of a bastion for a little bit, but not for too long. I'm just gonna, I mean, there's like, there's really nothing here. And Maxi tends to be a pretty late resigner in general, even when he's completely dead. So I don't really want to wait around for things to happen. Auriko's only bringing 2 trebs, but there's nothing to snipe them with, so should be fine for us, even against a Byzantine castle, because Maxi has no stone in the bank. We're going to come around, maybe can find some damage here, but, I mean, it doesn't even matter. Nice disconnect, face with symbols. GG, well played. Yes, I agree. It was a very nice disconnect. I really enjoyed having to go into a different wreck, but I don't think that's the reason we lost. And the reason we lost... was because even though we had a really nice Ville fight, we for some reason engaged in the tower wars with the with the Teutons. I don't mind like a single tower just to delay. It could be okay, but instead we should probably just wall and get up the castle age ourselves. So for some reason the tower rush works out there. So nice win for Auriko. We'll see if Max can turn things around in game number 3. Into game number 3 here we have Auriko with the lead, 2 games in the lead. Celts in the green, other side Maxi in the blue on Vietnamese. And we're at Fractal. This is a perfect map for Maxi, especially if we don't pick up the forward elephant right away. We really cannot. I mean, this is incredible to me. Auriko's like not respecting Maxi's laming like at all. Even on a map like this where he doesn't even need Vietnamese, by the way. It's completely pointless to have the Vietnamese bonus because your opponent's always straight across. But instead, yeah, we just let the elephant get taken for some reason. We're going to counter lane, but we're super late. And our Ville's going to the wrong spot. Might be able to find this. We'll see what can happen. Pick up Loom, so it's going to be pretty brutal for us if we're not able to make the lame happen. But the lame is pretty brutal on this map. There's only 1 elephant, and oftentimes we go for some kind of fish situation. And of course, we're very close. So there's a lot of aggression. Well, actually, not necessarily, funnily enough. Sometimes it could be kind of just like a pretty walled up game if you go for a dock, if both players go for a dock anyway. It's not too difficult to wall up. But in this case, I assume we're going to see quite a bit of feudal aggression, presumably because Maxi wants to go for archers like always, and Auriko will go for skirms. We'll pick up this elephant. Auriko did manage to lame quite a few of these zebra, which is bad for Maxi, but we did pick up 2 boars, so it's probably still worth it. I would say rushing with 3 villagers is definitely, or 4 villagers even, is super not worth it. This is not worth in any way. We will probably maybe kill the villager. Oh, unless it gets away. But yeah, this is a big waste of villager time. It's an okay exchange. I would still say it's mostly better for Maxi because we have 2 boars. What's not good for Maxi is idling the TCO. That's really bad. Especially when you have someone who's rotting animals here. Auriko's going to go forward. Not the right spot on the map. You want to go here. This is the right spot. It's the same every time. It's a direct position map. We have the Celts, which do chop through the wood much faster. As you can see, this is a 3-tile gap. Auriko's going to go for maybe an advanced maneuver and go for the forward lumber camp, which is also 3 tiles. It's not nearly as defensible, but you know, you could make it work, especially as the Celts, but instead we're... I don't know, it seems very indecisive. This is definitely not where you should have placed the lumber camp, but that's okay. I presume it's been quite a while since any of these players have played on this map. So, I can see, could see why you maybe don't know the exact timing. Also, again, weird placement for Maxi. You can't get to the water fast enough, and you can get ranged by galleys, so prefer to go over here or here if you're not going for the water. But, see how things wash out. 2 villagers up for Auriko, pretty much entirely from idle TC time. So, even with the 4 lane, we might be still behind for Maxi, or things might be more or less even-ish. Maxi will lame some of the zebra, so some more missed food, but in exchange, or in return, or in response, I guess is what I should say, Auriko is going to lose his scout and is going to just drop an early mill. We'll wall in the scout, which is okay for us, but I don't think... Says hello to the Maxi villager. We could just dive under the... Yeah, just dive under the TC there. There's not that many villagers underneath. And even with all the extra food that we should have had, we are going to be pretty late to feudal age for Maxi, it looks like. Actually, it's not that bad. And Auriko says, I docked the wrong side, whatever, let's play next. I am going to assume he means, he lumber camped the wrong side. I mean, it's actually fine. It's actually only 2 reads here. I don't know why he FF'd from this. Maybe he was very tilted from Maxi's gameplay. It's not even, like, if you look at it, it's really not even that bad though. Like, look at how much idle TC time our opponent had. We're going to be up to feudal age pretty soon. We are going to be delayed for the dock, but our opponent is not docking. Of course, we don't know that. We might assume, but look, it's Maxi. His Dark Age is a mess. You gotta have a bit more confidence in yourself, especially with the Celts. We totally would have been just fine here, I think. But Auriko decides doesn't want to play this map any longer, so we'll head into game number 4 here. This is gonna be in the green, Burmese for Auriko, and on the other side, Maxi's playing the Berbers. Pretty interesting matchup. I don't know if the normal setup is going to matter too much since we're playing with Maxi, of course. Because the Berbers, of course, have camo archers, which are already a very good unit, but they're especially good because the Burmese have terrible skirms. They're missing the 2nd and 3rd archer armor, which means they are pretty trash against ranged units. So that can be a problem for us in the long term. It might not really matter. You might not get there. I don't know for what reason Maxi really picked the Berbers. They don't really suit most of his interest, except for Vil fighting, which of course can be something he's interested in. And this is something you never really want to be caught in, which is sending 4 villagers to 1. Again, this is like another case where I think it makes more sense to just take stragglers for a bit, delay the lumber camp so that Maxi doesn't have a target. We're going to lose a villager there. This is a case where we don't really want to be engaging at all because we don't have loom. So another reason why it would be really nice just to keep our villagers here at the center so that Maxy's just kind of wasting his time and we don't have to deal with it. But I think it's probably been quite a while since Maxy would have played, or sorry, since Auriko would have played Maxy, since he's typically seated at higher brackets. So they don't play that often anymore, unlike the olden days where they used to share a bracket. But no rhinos were lamed this game. A couple of sheep were lamed, which is rough, especially if we're going for a hybrid build, which I presume we could be. Well, maybe we are, I'm not sure. Usually 5 on wood is common. Gonna be 3 on wood for Maxy there. Doesn't necessarily tell us too much because we're coming forward with 5 villagers, which do move faster for the Berbers, which is nice since we're sending them forward. For what reason, I don't know. We might just be for vill fighting purposes, which I guess could be something. Pretty early mill here, so I guess we're not going to go for a dock. Maybe we're going for an FC of some sort. Villagers come forward to be really annoying. Gonna lose a villager. But this is, again, like a lot of villagers. We don't, this is... I know we want to defend this lumber camp, but I don't think we want to engage with these shenanigans that much. But I guess now that we've built this lumber camp, we kind of have to a little bit. Of course, Toxic Maxy is calling the wrecked. He's sending more bills forward, so he might be thinking of douching here, but he doesn't have enough wood just yet. Could be something that you have in mind with the faster vills. And we're going to come forward to lame in the lumber camp again. Okay, well, no, we're just going for the center mill. Fair enough. Villagers coming in, going to lame in the villagers there for Auriko. With the houses. One just slips past, but the Berber villagers, again, are faster. So they can catch up if they want. It's even better than free wheelbarrow if you think about it. As long as we stay in Dark Age. Gonna go on stone super early. Like, our build is totally wrecked. So yeah, it looks like Auriko had in mind an FC of some sort, but has been is delayed the word I would even use? I guess delayed or certainly interrupted his plans. But I don't know if we really need to be mining stone just yet. I'm gonna try and wall in these vills, but of course this is a Maxy house, so he could get out that way. And, ooh. There's actually 4 villagers was able to break that down. And this is, again, like, this is kind of like... Oh, this is a really nice surround for Maxy. This is the kind of case you don't want to be playing like this, because we're playing right into what Maxy wants to do. He wants to click on you, click on your villagers with his villagers. Another, almost sort of surround. Berbers are going to be better at this than most civs. We wall out this villager, unfortunately. I think the game might already be... Well, I don't want to say it's over because this is, like, such bad eco. If Auriko is able to pivot and just go feudal instead, we might be okay. Which may be the plan, because there's no way we have enough food. Nor do we even have enough stone. This is so... This is so rancid, though, to play against. I know what it feels like. It feels really bad. But sometimes Maxy will delete his own villager when he's trying to delete a palisade. So those are the kind of things you look for. We're going to go up to feudal age for both players. Maxy a little bit further behind. We'll presumably go for forward range because I don't know what else he has in mind. Not that Berbers have great archers, but they do get crossbow, which is more than we can say for some civs. We'll try to rush down these villagers with Auriko, but again, this is not the situation you want to be in. Especially if we wanted to FC. We're gonna go for this stone mine now, which is brutal. All Maxy did was add some palisades. And again, we're gonna keep vill fighting. I guess we're kind of stuck in it at this point, but I feel like this is super not worth for Auriko. 4-1 ratio. In favor of Maxy. We'll pull this villager back, which is nice. Up to feudal age. Oh, we're dropping a market, but we have 100 food. Oh god, this is gonna be so painful. we might have to add a tower at this point. Now, Maxi did see that our opponent was to go for this situation. And he's going for his own stone, which you could go for camel arches, which would be amazing. But he might just have in mind go for some towers instead. Neither player docking, by the way, which is more common on this map, but this is not maybe the most common sort of game. Defensive tower for Auriko. Everything should be pretty safe for him now. I don't think much is going to really happen. I don't know why we dropped 2 towers. It's a total waste for us. Range will come up. Nothing on gold, so we can only make skirms. We're making a defensive little bastion for ourselves, which makes sense because we see the Rambai rush will be coming in the near future, but this doesn't even really protect us that much. But, fair enough. Okay, well, I guess we will get the FC off if Maxi decides to do nothing, which kind of looks like that's what his plan is. I don't know why we would add these towers so early, because if we know our opponent's going to go FC, they're not going to hit us at all, just yet. Not until they get to Castle Age. But Blacksmith coming up. The FC will happen by the looks. We have to sell a lot of stone. Feels pretty rough. But again, Maxi kind of just doing nothing. So we'll get to Castle Age, and it's just kind of a question of how good will they Rambai be. Rambai can be pretty good, but they're not very good if your opponent is up to Castle Age at a competitive time and they can get Castle Age units in a decent timing. They always feel better to me on like a nomad situation, where it's kind of a lot more awkward to make the counter units there. Castle Age coming in for Auriko. Maxi will not be too far behind because we didn't do much. I really would have liked to see, you know, like a forward tower or just send some units forward a little earlier, but not a huge deal because we're going to get up to Castle Age at a decent time for ourselves. Wonder what the response is going to be. We could get our own castle, which would be good. Oh, the units come in and... oh, nice save. We have fletching, so these units can do something. It's only 2 archers though, so it's not that much damage, but it is annoying. And there are some low villagers from the earlier Vil fight, so might find some picks. Yeah, find a couple of picks here. And I'm just gonna zoom forward a little bit. We're gonna try and rush these down, but they are not Berber villagers. They're gonna lose another villager. This is a pretty bad situation we're gonna be in. We're up to Castle Age. Where is the castle gonna be? We're gonna be right here. Defend our wood, defend our gold. Makes a lot of sense. It is very good for us that this is only 2 archers. If this was all archers, we would lose even more villagers than we already have. But Maxi is going to go, presumably, onto skirms, or rather, crossbow and elite skirm, which is going to be a really good response against the Rambai. This is the situation you don't want to be in when you are rushing your unique unit. A situation where your opponent is going to be up to Castle Age at a comparable time. You don't have any units out already. And, you know, this is unideal. We'll see what Auriko can do. Rambai can be good, but they're not very good when it's only 1 unit. It's actually pretty bad when it's only 1 unit, especially when our opponent has already gotten the armor as well. It's kind of situations like this, though, that you would add like a siege workshop. We actually have an okay amount of villagers even after losing 12 because of the fact that, well, we had a really delayed castle time. So we spent more time making villagers. But only 2 Rambai out. About to be a few more. One of them is very low. But you can see on the other side, Max is going to go for what he wants to do anyway, which is double range. I kind of would prefer, like, if you go for... I mean, I guess a Rambai still, like, you know, they can be good against mass range units, but against Maxi, right, you kind of prefer, like, you know, Hussite wagons or war wagons, something that's really good against archer units. I don't like this range. I wish it was way more forward. This is so far back. Maybe we're thinking we need to defend, but that's what our castle's supposed to do, so I'm not sure about that. Yeah, we can even go for Genitor too, which is amazing for the Berbers. Another reason why the Rambai is questionable choice here for the Burmese against the Berbers. We have 6 Rambai. We can still do some damage here on the goal, which is unideal. 6 are ran by. They're going forward, splitting up. Can't really hit anything right now. Could maybe hit some of these lumberjacks. You really need some siege units as well, though, but we don't really have the eco for it. Eco is really weak. I think this... deleting our own buildings there for Maxi. I think this game might actually be over already. Which would explain why Auriko said that Arambai suck and that Harry team misled him, but I don't think this game really teaches us that Arambai suck. I think it teaches us that if we take a lot of early damage, have a super delayed Castle Age timing, and our opponent is on to more military than us with Castle Age upgrades, then yeah, they're gonna look like they're really bad. Especially when we fight with a few fragmented Arambai. That's not their MO at all. We also don't have any armor. I know they only get the first armor, but you probably want to get the first armor at least. It's pretty cheap. We're not spending the food on anything else anyway. But yeah, this is the kind of situation Arambai do look really bad. And the funny, like, this is what Maxi wants to play anyway. And yeah, we're gonna lose all of our Arambai. We don't have any. Again, we haven't made any siege because I think our eco is just so weak. Even the Genitors are going to come in, which are spell trouble. Oh, what is this castle? At least you can build it a little more forward. It kind of doesn't even hit anything anyway, which is kind of the funny part. Second armor. TC delete for Auriko. He drops the oops, which forces the castle over here, and that's going to be the finishing blow. So yeah, I don't think this game teaches us that Arambai suck. I think it teaches us that Maxi had some really nice early aggression in the Dark Age that kind of ruined Auriko's game, and Auriko probably should have just pivoted to some kind of feudal play. You know, it's totally fine for the Burmese, right? They have free double bit axe. They can play Skirm in the feudal age if they want, or they can play, you know, Archer and the crossbow. It's also fine. Could also play Scouts. Also didn't see any siege, which you really would have liked to see. Also, just maybe not a good choice against the Berbers in general. When you think about, they have camel archers, they have Genitor. They don't mind going crossbow anyway. But that's going to be another win for Maxi. We'll see if the reverse sweep can be completed here in our last game. Welcome everyone. We are into game number 5. This is do or die for both players. We have in the blue Maxi on the Persians, and Auriko has gone blood red with rage, but I'm going to turn him to green because that's where we had him in every other game. He's playing the Incas against Persians. I'm going to assume that we're going to see a TC drop here because I don't know why else Maxi would pick Persians. He's not a Cav player. But we'll see. Now, if we're expecting a douche, we don't want to fight it. We want to expect to lose our TC and instead just get up to feudal age, and then when we have a bunch of archers, we can stop our opponent from vill rushing us. And this is, again, this is not what you want to do against Maxi, especially if you don't research Loom. Like, we're just going to lose villagers this way, and we're feeding into what he wants to do. Settlement is pretty nice for us as well here. Picking up the gold and the wood. Again, no Loom. Champi is also really bad in the Dark Age. That's where, like, Incas actually used to be a little bit better against Maxi, because he wants to do Dark Age aggression, and the Eagle Scout is the best unit in Dark Age as far as military is concerned. But now they have the Champi, which totally sucks. The one thing they do have going for them is you can garrison them in the TC and heal them. So that is an okay option. And they can build outposts, which could be good sometimes. But yeah, the Inca used to be honestly better. Also because I say Eagles are just kind of better than a better option than Champi in most cases. Maxi's going to add some random walls here, probably for the TC drop. I don't really see this going any other way, especially when I see this happen. Auriko, again, taking the board pretty late. It's okay in this situation. Again, we're not going to lose it. We did lose some pigs, it looked like, but again, there are neutral herd wolves here on the side, so not a huge deal. Not going to lose our boars either, which is very nice for us. Gonna add in a barracks. Ooh, is this gonna be an early Champi rush? Could be interesting. I don't think that does well against vill rushing, but it could be something. I think we're better off just getting to feudal age, building our walls, but we'll see. Maxi being very toxic again. See the case of the champion being pretty trash, losing to the scout there. But we can produce some more, so that is something. I don't know. Has Auriko seen... Auriko's not seen the walls. I mean, if we didn't know TC drop is coming, I think we spot these walls and we know for 100% what's coming. And this is like very funny to me again, because kind of like with Chris, this does like kind of zero. It does absolutely nothing until we completely finish the walls, which is not unreasonable on a map like this. But Vils come forward, Champion come forward, and are we gonna wall this? What if we gate? If we gate right now? We gate right now. If we gate right now. Okay, well, Auriko's not the fastest player. Is kind of the impression I get. We gonna Vil again. We don't Vil fight this. This is not worth it at all. We should just try to click up and get to military. This is Champion rush is just not it. And also, if we just dropped a gate here, we would have stopped this pretty much completely from happening. But we're gonna try and build fighting. We do have Loom. Trying to get more champions. We're gonna try and stop the barracks from getting lamed. And it looks like there's still a tile back here, so should be okay for a while. But there are more villagers for Maxi here, and they are going to take the fight. The champion are pretty trash. Oh, okay. That feels really bad. Yeah, that's classic thanks DE moment, where the rally point ends up back here. And I think Auriko has made these games a lot harder for himself than it really needed to. Again, you can't win this TC fight, so the fact that we are taking it instead of clicking up to feudal age does not bode very well for us, I do not think. The Persian TC, of course, has double the HP, as you can see. So the Inca TC doesn't have any bonus. I mean, I guess, you know, the units... The building costs less stone, but I don't think that actually does anything, because when you repair, it only uses wood. So even that doesn't really matter. Again, this is like very funny to me that Maxi's walling in this, because we need to wall on this side instead. I haven't even scouted all the walls for Auriko. What is the purpose of this? Why do we wall all the way this many tiles? Anyway, I think this game might already be over, because we are trying to fight the Persian TC as Auriko, which is not the game plan. I don't know how, I don't know what Auriko's like mental fortitude is, but it could be pretty low at this point, which may explain some of his decisions. And as expected here, the TC will fall, and once the TC falls, the Persian Vils will brush our own Vils down. As you can see, there is a lot of food back home for Maxi in terms of the extra hurdles. It's kind of like a nice bonus as well on this map if you're going to TC drop. You can grab a lot of extra hurtables. It's also like very wallable, so it's good to pen in your opponent. Not that you even really need to do that, I don't think, but it is an option. Only one villager repairing for Maxi is a bit surprising. 2 for Auriko, but we just ran out of wood, and we have a lot more wood for Maxi. So TC war is going to end pretty imminently, I would say. We'll see how long Auriko can hold on. It's kind of the case where those champi, like, was a lot of wasted res for us, if you think about it, right? We have almost just enough food to click up to feudal, and we could have clicked up to feudal way earlier. Except that the TC goes down, we get up to feudal, we have a save gold, we make some archers. 4 archers can deal with everything, more or less, as long as you micro them. But I feel that our time in this set is nearly coming to an end. It's kind of like misleading, right? If you look at the health bars, it looks like Maxi's TC is only slightly ahead, but that's because it's percentage based. So if you look at the actual amounts, you can see how it's still like, you know, about double HP Maxi has compared to Auriko. And the wall-on is going to get completed, it looks like. Not that that even really matters that much here. I guess it makes your gameplay a little bit easier. Bills are not super fast, so it's easier to rush down. We're going to click up to feudal now, which is super late. And we're really low on wood. We have a lot of villagers on wood, but I don't know if this is going to get done in time. Actually, maybe it will. It's hard to say. We're out of wood, which is really rough for us. We have to retask our villagers. Is this going to get finished? I'm not sure. It's very funny to me that Maxy's walling in his own base when there's no military that can even come to hit him. Palisades coming in on the sides. Actually, pretty nice repairs now. It looks like we'll be fine. Maybe this game isn't over after all. The TC is going to hold. You have to think about it, this is still like a lot of idle villagers, but we will be up to feudal. I'm not sure what feudal really does for us at this point. I mean, so it's like a little awkward, right? So ideally, what we do with the feudal age advantage, we drop a range, we make archers. But we kind of have to be cautious, right? Because like before we have about 4 archers or so, we can't do too much to kind of protect our villagers if the TC goes down. And that's of course a lot of wood to spend. We're going to try and rush these palisades down, which I don't think is going to happen if Maxy's paying attention. Even double layered pretty much everywhere here except for here, which is like, you know, 5 times layered. We can also get double bid X, which is a bonus that Auriko has, but yeah, this is a lot of wood spent. And see, we're not like even gaining anything from our feudal age. We could drop a tower here maybe. Could be something. We could get douched again, but it could be something to delay. But we're not gaining an advantage. We need a range. Really is what we need. And this is just kind of like holding off the inevitable, right? Like, we can see that we're going to die. The herdables back home are actually about to run out, but there's still some berries. Can even add some farms, honestly, with how much wood Maxy is floating. And we are going to add an aggressive farm here. Kind of like a flex for Auriko. Auriko's looking for a way out, but there is no way out. Thinking about dropping a tower here. I'm going to assume that doesn't get ranged by the TC. I don't know if that's the spot for it because they could get rushed down by these villagers. Yeah, I mean, this villager gonna hit it. I mean, what's the purpose of this anyway? We can't drop a new TC after this. Like, why not go for a range? I mean, I guess at this point, the range doesn't even do that much for you because you're like hemmed in. But the point would be like, you drop a range, you lose a TC, you can get a new TC up, your archers can prevent the castle drop, prevent the vill rush, but instead, we drop the tower, try to get out, and the vills are all stacked up there, and they are going to die. Not the best place for a tower, because our opponent has a lot of villagers. A lot of villagers. 9 more than us, in fact. Well, a little bit more at this point. TC is down, and the vill rush is coming forward. All of Auriko's ecos here, and indeed mistake that tower. I would say that the 5 champions was also a bit of a mistake, but actually when I was thinking about it, really not dropping a gate here is probably the biggest mistake. That could have stopped the rush immediately. Maxy would have tried again, right? But maybe, you know, you prevent it long enough. But the win is going to go to MaxyMicChek, completing the reverse sweep. Congratulations to him, and good luck to him and his next opponent. Auriko is going to drop down to the lower bracket. We'll cover some of those games later. But for now, that's going to be the set for us. And we will catch you all later at another time. Peace.